And in this video, we're assembling the birthday slice cards. So there are 3 different ones. There's a cake, there's an ice cream soda, and then there's one that comes with numbers from 0 to 9 so that you can make your any age birthday. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Each of these 3 designs are sold separately, just so you know, but I am going to do the videos together. So your base piece here, this is the back. I would suggest cutting this out of a light colored paper. If you want to use a darker paper and you want to have room still to write on the back, just mirror this piece and cut a second one out of a lighter color and glue them together. That'll give you a lighter color to do your message on the back. So we have these little streamers. These are the smallest. They're pretty. They are small, and I apologize for that. Tried to make them as big as I could. And you'll see the back has these 3 humps, and each one of these is where one of the streamers goes. So you just need a little bit of glue, just dab a little bit of glue on those. Stick them right into place. I tried to get these out this weekend, but my daughter is rehearsing for her spring ballet show, so I just did not have the time to get them out this weekend. So this is your background piece. You'll want to cut it out to whatever color you want your stars to be. I did mine in yellow. And to place this, you just want to kind of look at the outline and just kind of give yourself an even border around your stars and balloons. Okay. You want enough glue to hold down your edges so that they're not getting stuck on things, but not too much. Especially if you're using a dark colored background, you want to be careful not to have your glue oozing out. And again, we're just gonna kind of line this up. I'm starting with my eye here at the bottom. And just give yourself a pretty even border all the way around. Just like that. My balloons, I thought that I would use some foam tape and pop them up. Oh, I do have a new roll. I only have 2 pieces here of my foam tape left. Now I did ink the edges of my white piece, and that's because of taking the photo in my light box, I need to have a colored edge around so that it shows up. Otherwise, my white paper just blends into the back. I did try this with a darker color, and I just liked with the color scheme I went with. I just like the white the best. So this is the foam mounting tape I've talked about before. I get this at the Dollar Tree, which is now $1.25, but it is in the hardware section. So you just want to take your time, make sure you're lining up your balloon right over. Now the strings to the balloons are connected, and since I use foam tape to pop up my balloons, it's been too long and my tip has dried. I'm only going to put glue here at the bottom, and then on the tip of each of these strings, because it won't be laying down here in the center part because of the foam tape. So because of that, I'm going to line it up to the bottom first. Press those down, press that down. Okay. So this is, whoops, needs just a second longer to attach. So this is the back. The front is going to be this little gift box, and we can go ahead and put the ribbon on, but I'm not going to glue it onto the piece until after I have assembled the base section. I'm making a mess with this glue. There is a second piece here for the bow if you want to do it a different color. I like having the line going across on some pieces. It looks fine just without it. So this piece is completely optional. But it especially comes in handy if you want to do a different color bow than your ribbon. Okay, so those two pieces just go like that. So for assembly, you want to remember this is your back. So we're just going to slide these pieces in, and just like on my other slice card, we're going to go ahead and glue this down. And I hadn't thought about this when I was designing this one. You probably do want to cut a second one of these to put over if you want to hide these tabs. Make sure that you've got it pushed all the way down. I'm giving it a good crease after I've made sure that it is level. Now, if you wanted to, with this last one, You could go ahead and do this to this side, and then you just have a white end. So what I'm going to do now that I'm looking at this, I am going to go into the file and I am going to give you a mirror image of this piece so that you can finish off the back. And you, after you do this, after you glue your tabs down, you'll come in and you'll know which piece it is because I will take the slits out of it, and then you will just glue that. So it will be, this is the dark color I tried, be similar to this. You'll just glue that in, but it won't have these slits in it. It'll just be solid. You can glue that on, hide your tabs, okay? So that is the back. Now for the front, we're going to do the same thing. I do want to point out that the pieces that go across this way are taller. So I'll show you that right here. See, this piece is slightly taller. That's on purpose. So make sure this one piece that is your front is a different size than these other three. The other three are exactly the same size. You want to just make sure that you push that all the way down. And then I'm going to fold these over. So you just want to take your time, get these glued down nice and even so that your card stays neat, okay? And before you glue the first one, make sure you have that in place, that it's pushed all the way down. I'm going to do my two ends first, and then I'll do the center. And I'm just making sure I'm level across here and across the bottom. And now, lift this one up, give it some glue, and glue it down. So then your gift, which again is a little bit higher than this base piece, is going to glue just right across the front. So I would say put the glue here because it is a little bit higher than this. I'm going to stand it up so I can level it to the table. This card is an A2. There we are. Okay, so this is the front and the back of each card. So I chose 80 because my mother turned 80 this year, and I'm going to use this as her birthday card. And you just want to, as long as you stay, you know, with it, you want to try to get it standing up straight. And you don't want to go down too far with your numbers, just because you don't want the slice to go too far over your numbers. I'm just going to eyeball this one. And again, you have the numbers included with this one. They're 1, 0 through 9. So there's 80 years, so you can make this any age you want. Okay, so there's that one. Then we have an ice cream sundae. So we've got several little moving pieces here. This can be a straw, but it's meant to be like one of those, I can't think of what that candy is called. It's kind of like a cookie, has chocolate in the center. But when I looked at it, I thought, wow, you know, that could be a straw, a striped straw, if you wanted it to be. So I'm going to glue this piece to the base. And then I'm going to put the accent piece for my, wow, that color is hard to see, for my glass. Oh, I had glue on my finger. Okay. Next thing is our chocolate stick, I think. I think I'm going to glue it just like this, just right in this little curve is where I'm starting it, and I'm going to put it down so that all the solid piece here is inside the ice cream. Just like that. I'm going to put my ice cream scoop together. My whipped cream on top. And I'm going to make my little cherry. If you don't care about the stem for the cherry, you don't even need to cut that piece. The stem is pretty thin. And I think it looks like a cherry without it. And I'm just going to kind of put this right in there. So I'll pull out my numbers here. The other thing you can do with your numbers, if you know how to do it, I use ScanNCuts a lot. You could put your numbers kind of close together, make a copy of them, and in ScanNCuts a lot, you have the option to make a shadow. And so then you could make a shadow and put those behind your numbers. I toyed with the idea of including that in the file, but I would have to do it for so many combinations that it just wasn't feasible. So here is the ice cream sundae. And that's cute. You can do this any color you'd like, obviously. Okay, now I'm gonna pull all these pieces off for the cake. So the cake, it's designed so that your base is for your flame. Okay, so you will want to, you can do orange. I mean, it doesn't matter what color your flame is, but just know that there is not a flame piece in the file. I felt like those would be a little bit too small for trying to glue on. So your base should be whatever color you want your flame to be. So you're just going to build your cake starting with the bottom layer and work your way to the top. The paper I've used here is Authentique. I think it's called Ice Cream Parlor. I'm not sure. I've had it forever. I love it. This is one of those paper pads that every time I find, I snatch it up. These files will work good for girls or boys because the colors are completely up to you. And then the cake. So there's the cake. And that's it. That is the birthday slice cards. Thank you for joining me.